Hello everyone, Adam Reed back again. Here we are, next video, and I'm covering the second part 2 of our 50 best practices. And if you watched video 1, I started best practices by saying that there are specifically 2 columns that we've divided our best practices in, and that's a column of do's and don'ts. And today we're going to cover do's 6 through 10. Now, if you didn't see the first video, I'll just give you a quick little bit of background here because I don't want to get into it too much with you. I want to get straight into the value that we know makes a difference and assists us in being powerful and producing the results we want. A little bit of the background is, where do these 50 best practices come from? Well, I'll tell you. 11 years of study and practice of the best practices that millionaire friends of mine and business owners and corporations and Olympic athletes and athletes in general have taught me through all of their years of experience. And I took these best practices and I've worked with them. There was more than 50, far more. And I've distilled this down to the best of the best so that you can have the best of the best distinctions called best practices for you and your business. All right, so that's a little history. Let's get right into it here. I don't want to waste much more time with you. I think this has been enough talking already. All right, let's go. So, do's. Here's number 6 in the do's realm. Deal in specifics. You know, there's so many times that I've coached clients, and every one of them will call up and they'll say something on the lines of, you know, I just can't do this anymore. Okay, let's just stop right there and look at that. I just can't do this anymore. I got it. What is it you can't do? You see, this sort of blanket statement that's very general, all it expresses is some sort of upset, some sort of concern, maybe an overwhelm, something like that. But there's a lot of guessing around that, and that can't be spoken to. So we have to deal in specifics. So when a client calls up and we have a conversation and they say something like, I just can't do this anymore, I say, well, what specifically is it that you can't do? And then they go straight to it. Well, I can't argue with my partner anymore. Another sort of general statement. Well, what is it specifically you're arguing about? Well, we can't get the books to balance. Well, we don't have enough clients. Oh, gotcha. So what is the number of clients you want? Oh, well, I want another 100. He wants another 200. And we can't seem to get that balanced. So from there's a whole world of coaching and etc. But I want you to see that you got to deal in specifics. You got to get to the actual point, the source of what's actually going on, so that you can begin to develop brand new futures and brand new results from these specifics. So I think that kind of gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. You know, it can relate to food as well. I'll give you another example. So, you know, saying, oh, God, I can't eat that kind of food. It's just not good for me. Well, what food? What specifically are you talking about here? What specifically do we need to get to here in the food? Oh, I can't eat hot, spicy Italian food after 7 o'clock because it gives me my stomach upset, etc., etc., etc. So you can get, you got to get to the point. You got to get to the details of the situation so that problems can be solved and strategies can be invented specifically. Never deal in generalizations. That should be one of the don'ts. Always deal in specifics. All right, here we are. Number 7. Treat your time as the most valuable asset you have. Let me tell you something. It really is. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs fall short of making decent money with their projects because they give too much of themselves and their times away. And they don't treat their time as valuable. Listen, if there's anything in life you cannot get back, it's your time. You can't get your time back. You can sell a car and buy that car back. You can get rid of a spouse and get another spouse, you know, or the same one back. Some people do these things, right? But you get my point is you can't get time back. Once your day is over, you sleep, you get up. Yesterday's done. It's over. Moment by moment, as that clock is ticking every second, time is over. Time is over. Time's coming, but time is over. Time's coming, but time's over. And so we want to pay attention that when you're working in your business that you're putting yourself and your time where it is absolutely most valuable to you. Okay? And that goes back to number 6, which is deal in specifics, right? So get specific about where your most valuable time is. And let's see you operate in there. All right. Do number 8. Focus on your effectiveness, not your likability. Wow, what does this mean? Mr. Reed, you're talking some crazy stuff here. What are you talking about? Focus on your effectiveness, not your likability. Yeah, there was a time when I was on the phone and I'd have to make cold calls, and I would get on the call and I would have these conversations, and they were wonderful. You know, by the time the conversation was done, these people liked me. I liked them. We could probably go to dinner, you know, but against the outcomes that we were intending, definitely not an effective conversation. See, an effective conversation gets the outcome that both parties want. Not just what one party wants, but what both parties want. And I think there's far too much, with all the people I've coached and worked with and taught in seminars, etc., there's a lot of people that are really out to be liked. And I think once we start to see that, you know, being great with somebody and being straight with them when they maybe don't want you to ends up being the most effective thing for themselves and for me as a person doing the coaching as possible. And you know, people sometimes don't want to hear certain things, and we know they don't want to hear it, but there's something bigger at play. And to have them be effective in their lives, to have the relationships they want and the money they want, to be up and at it in their lives the way that they want to be, you got to give up having a please like me sort of conversation to a hey, I'm not standing for any nonsense and you should neither. It's the only way we're going to be effective. So that's number 8. All right, I think you're starting to get a little view here of where I'm taking all of this. And let's look at do number 9. Number 9 is show up on time, say please, and thank you. You know, I learned many years ago when I attended one of these courses that there's one more, and I haven't added it in here. Obviously, it was not one of the best practices that was worth keeping. And these were called years ago the referability habits. And you know, showing up on time, let me tell you, what an honorable way to treat a potential client or a potential business partner. Their time, if we go back, right, as time being the most valuable asset you have, you show up on time, they feel that. They feel that you respect. It's unbelievable. Just showing up on time has so much respect for not only you, but for the person you're going to do business with. And let me tell you something. Excellent boundaries in business takes 2 people to do all sorts of unpredictable miracles. Really does. So show up on time is one. Here's the next 2. Say please and thank you. You know, don't walk away. If you get something, don't walk away without a thank you. An attitude of gratitude, I think we've all heard that 1,000 times, but really, what a great practice. You know, I don't know how many times I've had people come and they want to do some dealings and they just walk away after we're done. And even if nothing comes of it business-wise, even if it was just a meeting, I feel that that person probably wouldn't have been worth working with because they haven't appreciated even the most simple things. All right, so let's get on to number 10. And the final one, I want to keep this in a short video here. Let me see. Make the phone call when you know you will be late. So this piggybacks on number 9, which was show up on time. Right? If you know you're going to be late, call them. Call them. Call the person and say, listen, you know, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to be a few minutes late. Listen, if you don't want to stay, no problem. I totally understand. I'd love for you to be there, but I totally understand if you don't. And, you know, 9 out of 10 times, people will be so graceful. They'll be open and be, you know, thank you so much for calling. Yeah, absolutely. You can have another 10 minutes. And it'll cut our meeting short. However, thank you for letting me know. And that's so respectful. It's so honorable. So exciting. I mean, I love dealing with business people, you know, on that level. Anyway, I think you've gotten a good flavor of the next 6 best practices, or next 5 best practices, number 6 through 10, in the realms of do's, do best practices. All right, we'll come back with another video, and we'll have, let me see here, number 11 through 15. And we'll cover another 5 amazing best practices that you can use to have your results be extraordinary. If you love this, check out Tap Your Power Now on Facebook or Star Achiever, and check out our other videos. We have a link here that will put you straight through to our Facebook page or put us through to our audio program. If you are loving what you're hearing here and you want to, go a little deeper down the rabbit hole in the realm of success. Look forward to hearing from you. Adam Reed. Check it out. Bye-bye.